Hi guys, it's Miss Harlan here. Some of you had some questions about Renaissance. I'd like to answer some newbie questions and give a refresher course on the best practices of Renaissance. First of all, there are two ways you can get to Renaissance. You can go through the Clever portal, or you can go to RamburneElementary.net, go to Library, and then you can scroll down to the Symbaloo page and go to Renaissance and enter your password. If you don't remember it, I can reset it for you. It's also helpful to know many of the things your students go to can be accessed on the library section of the website under the Symbaloo page. Once you're logged on, you can click Accelerated Reader and a drop-down menu will pop open. Go to Record, Books, and Goals, and I'm going to choose a kindergarten class so you won't see anyone's scores because none of them have taken a test. You can look over at the reading range and you can see what their ZPD is, and you can also see their grade equivalent right offhand. These students don't have it because they took STAR Early Literacy instead of STAR Reading. You can also look at the percent correct, and that tells how well they're doing. We want them to do above 85%. You can also look at the goal, and I set the goals based on STAR. So students with a lower level would have less points that they need to get each 9 weeks. I set it based on 15 minutes a day, but we can change that if you'd like to. You can also click on their name, and you will see all the tests that they took for that 9 weeks under here. Some people leave this up as they're going around the room. You can also change it if you don't want to see just the 9 weeks. You can change it here and make it for the whole year, or however you want to. You can also go back to Home, and you can go to Reports. Some people leave this section open when they're walking around the room. You go to the Summary Diagnostic Report, and you'll want it to be on reading practice. You won't have a choice here. I do because I have all the students in the school. And then you'll update the report. You can change the date range. You can change the date range to if you just wanted the 9 weeks or however you want it. Of course, it's not going to pull up a report with anything on it for these students because they haven't taken a test. But you can customize the report to any 9 weeks that you want. There is an area here that has diagnostic codes. If you look, everybody here has a diagnostic code of an A, and if you look down at the bottom, you'll see that that means that they haven't taken a test. A diagnostic code just tells you something's wrong, like going to the doctor and seeing something's wrong, like you have a fever. You have something wrong and you want to catch it before it's full blown. The percent correct that we want them to do is 85% or better, and then you'll see the actual over here. It may give you a code because their actual percent correct is like 40%. That would be like making an F, and it would show that they're not passing all their tests. You can also go to the goal over here, and it's set by STAR by me for 15 minutes, 5 days a week, and you can also go in and change it. That's good for a student that's pulled out because if they have a shorter time period than others that they're actually getting to read, you can tweak that goal a little bit. The way I do the percent of goal is, and this isn't exact, but this is the way I usually did it. The percent of goal, like the first 9 weeks, they should have 10% of the goal. The second 9 weeks, they should have 20% of the goal. The third 9 weeks, they should have 30%. And that's usually the way I looked at it. It's not perfect, but it gives you an estimate of where they need to be, unless they're reading a chapter book. But you'll know that because when you go around as they're reading, you'll know what books they have. Many of you ask how I did on prizes. I would look at the percent of the goal. And I would make sure you had 85% or better on your average correct, because if they were just failing the test, then there was no need for me to give them a reward. But I would look on the percent of the goal on Fridays, and I would say if they had, if they're 85% or better and they had a 25% of their goal, I'd give them a prize, 50%, 75%, 100%. And then you could go, on up to 125, 150, 175, like that. But I only gave it to them if they had 85% or better. And on Fridays, I checked. And I made the rewards easy, like something you don't have to buy, like a coupon. At 25%, they got to read with their shoes off, or 50%, they got to bring a snack to eat to school. 75%, they got to bring a drink that they could drink at school. And you could use coupons, maybe one to say that they could read all day if they wanted, or that they could take their shoes off if they wanted. The most important part is monitoring, though. You want to check and see if they are taking tests and if they're doing well on the percent correct. AR is my favorite program for accountability. Many times it gets a bad rap because many people focus on the points and the prizes. All this program does is allow you to monitor their independent reading easily. I keep this report on my iPad when I walk around, and you can also easily use AR to work on reading skills. For example, if you're working on a theme, on the theme as a skill, the kids could find the theme of their own AR book. The book's on their level, regardless of how low or high it is, and you could pull skills that way. I hope this helps. And if I can be of any more help, let me know. I love AR and want you to be able to use it easily and successfully. I can see the benefit of reading and raising STAR scores.